Public school teachers are limited in what they can say about the creation of the universe. That includes steering clear of intelligent design because of potential ties to the Bible. As CBN's Wendy Griffith reports, one West Virginia high school student helped craft a law that allows teachers to discuss those concepts.
2 years ago, 16-year-old West Virginia high school student Haden Hodge decided to help his teachers increase the scientific theories they could include in lessons on how the world came to be. While Big Bang and evolution made the list, the theory that perhaps God created all of this, the universe and humanity supernaturally, did not.
So I think a lot of it was fear. They were just afraid of if a student asked a question like that and they answered it truthfully, then they were afraid of, anything that could happen to them with their jobs or in their personal life or anything like that. And, like I said, with that science teacher, he was afraid to even, have conversations like that. And I thought this needs to change. He needs to feel like he can talk about this without any fear of losing his job.
With the help of his father, Tony, and some West Virginia lawmakers, Haden drafted a bill that would allow teachers to include discussion of intelligent design.
Haden he spearheaded this himself. I mean, he came to me and asked for my advice. Dad, how can we do this or whatever? And I just kind of gave him a little bit of advice. I said, but if you want to do it, you need to be the one to head it up. And so he sat down and did research, and he ended up working on the language himself and talked to the senator that represents our district and went to her, she happens to be the chair of the education committee, Senator Amy Grady. He took it to her, and from there, the ball just kept rolling, and we're really proud of him and all of his efforts.
Due to political pushback, they agreed to take the phrase intelligent design out of the bill, although it still allows West Virginia public school teachers to discuss it in the classroom.
A majority of the members present having voted in the affirmative, I declare the bill passed.
Some senators saw it as the easiest vote they cast all year.
You have to understand, in West Virginia, this is a God-fearing state. The people here love the Lord, they love God, they love Jesus. And when people have things like this presented before them, they put God first in their lives. And the same goes for our legislators in this building behind me.
Governor Jim Justice, an outspoken Christian, signed it into law in March.
Anyone that denies God's presence is just not looking and just absolutely not with it. And so for our teachers to be able to teach the foundation of all of our lives, well, why wouldn't they teach it? We can teach about evolution or teach Big Bang or whatever it may be. The reason would only tell you, well, of course we've got to teach intelligent design. We're blessed to have a wonderful young man that brought it to our attention.
Haden vividly remembers the day it passed the Senate.
It felt fantastic. I remember being up in the gallery, and the second that it passed overwhelmingly, I got super excited. I remember giving my dad a high five, and that was just one of the coolest things ever. I looked over at my mom, and she was kind of smiling and kind of crying at the same time, so it was really fun.
While Mississippi, Louisiana, and Tennessee have similar legislation, Governor Justice hopes West Virginia's version will help encourage other states to follow suit.
If we're the first in West Virginia to do this, it'll spread all across the land. You wait and see.
Wendy Griffith, CBN News, Charleston, West Virginia.
Haden showing some initiative and boldness in his faith. Gordon?
Let me underline just how impossible this is to see citizen legislation. I remember talking to some people in the Senate and House of Delegates right here in the state of Virginia, how can we start moving legislation forward? And they absolutely discouraged any kind of citizen-sponsored legislation. They said, well, it has to go through a special group. We have a special group at the Capitol that drafts legislation, and they research and make sure it doesn't conflict with anything currently on the books. And it's got to go through that process. And to see a high school student in West Virginia successfully get a bill through, that is absolutely incredible. So you go, Haden. For anyone who wants to debate this, I remind you, please look at the science and start asking questions. Why does our very appearance, if you look in the mirror, why does your face obey mathematical equations? Why does it adhere to the golden mean? Is mutation, genetic mutation, random, or is there a mathematical process to it? Can you explain consciousness? Can you explain concepts like hope? and charity. Those things, you look at this sort of materialistic view of the universe and existence. Well, those things don't fit within that model. And so because it doesn't fit, we all have to remind ourselves evolution is still a theory, and any theory needs to be questioned. And until it holds up to science and the scientific method, we have to keep it in the theory realm. And you can't have it be dogma and say, well, this is the only way to view the universe. There are lots of different ways to do it. I like to argue, well, we're arguing about the method of creation. It's not, you can't remove a creator from your equation, and that is fundamental. And if you get into the Big Bang, what was there before? And if there is a Big Bang that started everything, well, then there has to be a creator. That's my view. I'm not going to impose that view on others, but you can't exclude that view from any serious intellectual discussion. These things have to be debated, and that is part of the scientific method. So I applaud Haden. It's congratulations. This is a wonderful